Join the Gwinnett County Public Library as we celebrate Banned Books Week and this year's theme, Let Freedom Read. Banned Books Week is a celebration of intellectual freedom, specifically the freedom to read whatever book you choose to read. This week is important to libraries and their customers because it stands in defense of everyone's First Amendment right, which states that no law shall prohibit your freedom of speech. Freedom of speech includes not just words spoken out loud, but many different ways of sharing and accessing the speech of others. Books are one of the most popular forms of speech, and they are an effective way to communicate ideas. Although pushback against book banning efforts has a long history, the Banned Books Week that we celebrate today was officially launched in 1982 by members of the American Library Association, the National Association of College Stores, and the American Booksellers Association. It was created in direct response to a rise in the number of book challenges at that time. Unfortunately, we are once again experiencing a rise in calls for the removal and restriction of books from school libraries, public libraries, and even bookstores. Some folks might feel that this isn't really all that important an issue, or they might have concerns about the content of some books. So let's discuss the reasons that removing even one book from one library is a problem, and why. First, we encourage all of our customers to read what's of interest to them and to skip what they are interested in. If you don't like a particular book, you don't have to read it. However, that book is likely of interest to someone else, and we want to ensure that all of our customers find books that they will enjoy. We really do want you to enjoy reading. We also encourage parents to engage with what their children are reading, help them pick out books, and talk about what they read. Encourage them to read a variety of books, fiction and nonfiction, to both improve their reading skills and their knowledge of the world around them. Second, in most cases, it isn't just one book in one library. In 2022, the American Library Association recorded 1,269 requests to remove books. This is nearly double the number reported in 2021. A total of 2,571 different books were targeted for removal, up 38% from the prior year. Of those thousands of book ban attempts, 90% were an attempt to remove more than one book. A whopping 40% of requests attempted to remove over 100 books from a library in one go. It's pretty unlikely that one person attempting to have these books removed has read all of them. And yet, they want to prevent other people that they don't know from reading them either. Additionally, the ability to access books and information through other organizations or companies does not negate the role of libraries in the community. Public libraries exist to provide free access to books, ideas, resources, and information, which should be provided for the interest, information, and enlightenment of all people of the community the library serves. The American Library Association's Library Bill of Rights affirms that libraries should challenge censorship in the fulfillment of their responsibility, and that materials should not be prescribed or removed because of partisan or doctrinal disapproval. If a library willingly removes books based on the opinion of a single individual, they are not upholding their mission to support their community. So what is it about these books, especially right now, that has brought out so many folks calling for their removal? Which books are under fire and why? In 2022, the ALA reported that the majority of books facing removal were written by or about members of the LGBTQIA+ community, Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color. The majority of current book bans are attempts to remove the stories and voices of diverse authors, and in doing so, deny members of these diverse communities the ability to read stories by and about people like themselves. It also denies those who are not a member of those communities an opportunity to read and learn about folks who are different from themselves. Although new ideas can be confusing or make us uncomfortable, they can also be incredibly enriching. Some books from the ALA's top 10 list really exemplify this targeted strategy. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, first published in 1970, came in at number 3 this year, but is a perennial favorite. Set in the early 1940s, it deals with topics such as racism, gender roles, society and class, and sexual assault. Two newer books have quickly risen to the number 1 spots for LGBTQIA+ content, Genderqueer a Memoir, and All Boys Aren't Blue. Still other books that often face calls for removal or restriction include well-known favorites that sound baffling to many readers. Examples include Harry Potter, Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl, The Giver, and Where the Wild Things Are. One great example that drives home how inconsistent and confusing book bans can be is A Wrinkle in Time. This book has faced calls for removal for being too religious and by others for not being religious enough. How exactly do libraries select books? How can they ensure that they are unbiased in their selection and are upholding their mission to support their community? Most libraries, including Gwinnett County, have a publicly available materials management or selection policy. This details how libraries decide what items to purchase. Some of the criteria includes the needs and interests of library users, reviews, awards, how the item contributes to the diversity and scope of the collection, and appropriate age group. By following the policies they have set, libraries can be confident that the items they have chosen are great options for our many customers. The celebration of Banned Books Week and the defense of the freedom to read isn't a case of overreacting to a few reports of individuals who read a book and found something objectionable in it. It's a response to a targeted and concerted effort to remove books on a large scale. It's the role of trained librarians to support their community by building a collection that includes a wide range of diverse topics and ideas. Just because one person doesn't like or is uncomfortable with a particular book doesn't mean that they have to read it. But they do not have the right to deny others the right to read that book as well. Instead, we would love to help everyone find a book to enjoy and appreciate. We have something for everyone at GCPL. For more information on Banned Books Week, visit bannedbooksweek.org or PEN America at PEN.org. Thank you for supporting libraries and the freedom to read.